Hello and welcome to RC Birds, and thanks for stopping by. And of course, a Happy New Year if we hadn't talked or seen each other. Between the years I built this module called the Bird Playground. It was a live stream in 3 parts, which wasn't as I hoped. The first had sound issues and the second with the video. The third is okay. Fortunately the recording worked, so if you like to see the process of the building, I put the 3 links into the description. But be aware, these were my first streams and some minutes are lost for my thinking. Nevertheless, a friend of mine, RC Jens, asked me if there'll be a repeating. Yes, beside the problems, I do a live build again. It was a lot of fun, the building and the chat with you guys. If I'm sure what's the theme of the next module, I'm on the track, ordering parts, preparing the plate, etc. But let's get back to the Bird's Playground. In this video, I resume the building process and review the obstacles. I don't know how the idea for this came to me, but to be honest, with this module course, one of the big advantages is creativity. You don't have always to think the reality onto the plates. Take Mario Kart for example. There you have a lot of tracks that might exist in the real world, but also tracks which should never exist. So if you have some fantasy, build what you want. If there's no origin, who cares as long you can crawl. This course module is half scale. This can be exist in reality or maybe build it on a crawler course in Origin. The second thing is a very low or cheap price. None of any obstacles costs more than 10 euros, dollars or pound. They can be purchased on pet stores or at the Jungle River. Just search for toys for birds, bunnies or hamsters. Mine are from the manufacturer Trixie. All in all, I used a big bridge, 2 seesaws, 4 little bridges and 2 of these loggy things. And they are all made of barkwood, so the model looks very natural. So let's begin with the build. First was the plate, already prepared with the stands and the magnetic couplers. I wanted to spray the surface, but first the weather was cold and then warm and rainy. And the plate is anthracite too, so wireman. The 4 corners get the grass mats glued on with adhesive glue. After drying, I put the street maskings and my stickers on. I also glued the seesaws together for further easier work, and then I recognized that one of the seesaws goes back into its starting position and the other one stays as its last. So I put on each of the seesaws on one side 15 grams of wheel weights. I wanted to stay the side down, or maybe one side. Now it was time for the big bridge. It was too long to be used from the entrances to the other entrances. I used epoxy glue to put the seesaw and the bridge onto the plate. For the seesaw that's okay, but between the bridge and the plate there are the grass mats. For this helps the gravity, and it should be okay, but I wanted to be safe if the model is stored on its side. So I used screws to secure the bridge. On one side 2, which went straight into the stands, on the other side 3. Therefore, I had to create a new stand because the bridge isn't over any of the regular stands of the plate. I used self-tapping wood screws, and for a tight fit, without the screws turning the pieces apart, I recommend to drill holes until the last layer where the screw has to bite. In this case, I drilled through the bridge and through the plate. The screws bite then in the stand and squeeze all layers together. The next steps were these 4 little bridges, which I attached only on one side with screws, and with the same principle as before. On the sides of the bridges there are wires inside and the bridge can be bended. This gives the opportunity to change the difficulty of crawling and new changes. The last obstacle are these former perches with locks on it. It has the exact width for STX24, but the locks are turning to the sides. Very challenging. My friend Damien from Dusty Fingers RC had the tip to hot glue the locks. This is an option I'm willing to take if the obstacle won't work. First I took 2 of these perches, screwed them tight onto the plate and then connected them with zip ties. This is all for the build. All in all, it's a great module with many opportunities of crawling and very flexible parts. Okay, my Bronco is so high for the seesaws, but Betty fits perfect on the bridge while crossing them. It's a cheap module, easy to build and needs no extra things for the optic like bushes, trees, stones, etc. Just keep in mind that you have to screw the obstacles together. Glue on with tensor forces when you start to bend the parts. I'm really happy to create this module by an accidental idea and will have hours of crawling fun with the changing design of it. I thank you for watching. If you got some questions, please write it down in the comments. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. This really helped me out. See you soon on AC Birds.